Alright, in this video, I'll share with you 10 things that I would never do. Now, how the idea for this topic came is when I put a ask me anything, one guy very intelligently put, okay, you said ask me anything, what is the one thing you would not answer? Then I was like, that's a very good topic for me to make. So in this video, I'll share with you 10 things I would never do. And these are general things of my life. So without taking more of your time, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Okay, number one is I would never reveal my customer details at all. I would share the story, I would share the incident, I would, make it interesting for you to, without giving you all the details, but I would never reveal the name, age, means I would not give you the details where you can identify who the person is, because we live in a very small world. And I noticed this when I spoke about someone once without giving their name, and they were able to those days through Facebook find out who the person was, and that kind of was embarrassing. So I never reveal my customer details, and that is one of the key reasons why so many people trust me, because they know I might share the story, but I will not share the incident. Yes, there are cases whereby the customer has even told me, don't even share my incident, because they feel it's very unique, or even though all the stories are more or less the same, they just feel very insecure about it. So first one is, I will never reveal my customer details. Even if I've had a very bitter fight, argument, misunderstanding, whatever, I do not. It's just my policy, and I guess all these years that I've been online, 16 plus, you'll not find one single client name exposed. If the client wants, the client can share specific, otherwise I do not. Number two is, integrity is very important to me, at least for me. You might think, this is a very cliche thing, but I believe what I would do when the camera is off is the same thing I would do when the camera is on. And the reason for this is, if I put on a facade of being, let's say, a nicey guy online, but privately I'm an asshole, I believe one day or another those details will come out, and then people will be like, fuck man, I thought I could trust you, and for what? That is why when people ask me, why don't you be a role model? Why don't you, for the sake of the camera, for the sake of children, for the sake of the, use less bad words? I'm like, no, this is how I am. Fuck this. Yeah, seriously. It's like, I'm not going to act like a nice, decent guy, and then suddenly you meet me privately and I say, hey, what the fuck, man? And oh, you're using the word fuck. That's the problem. I don't want that pressure of, be a role model, be a nicey guy. No, people, and for the benefit of the people who say you should be a role model, well, guess what? We live in a day and age where today children have access to any and every content, from porn to everything else. So if it's not me, it's somebody else. So you want to follow me? This is how I naturally am. And that is one of the reasons people actually do follow me. By the way, this might surprise you. The person that I'm online, the directness, the rudeness, the profanity, in real life, I'm not actually that rude. I don't use that much of profanity, and I'm not as blunt in real life. I'm more polite. I'm more nice. The reason being is, online, yes, I can be. Coaching, yes, I can be. But for a person who meets me day to day, I don't need to be this brash guy, And also because you're dealing with human beings and feelings. That's why people get very surprised when they book my services. Now, don't expect that just because you book my services, I'm going to be nice to you. I use discretion, where to be nice, where to be tough love, and where to just be myself. So number two is, what you see is what you get, integrity. Number three is, what I would never do is give my parents and my relatives a second chance, especially my parents. They are one of the worst human beings. My mother, especially my stepfather, and I would be absolutely delighted if they end up having the worst, miserable, painful death ever. Why? Because as a 7-year-old boy, they beat, bloodied, battered, bruised. They tortured a 7-year-old small boy. When I think about it today, my daughter, she is 5. I just think, could I have done even 1% of what my stepfather did, of the abuse my mother did? And I can't imagine. If you do that to an animal, you'd be arrested by law. Imagine, for an animal, They did it to me for my whole life. So I would never give my parents a second chance. I would never have any bit of iota of pity for them. They have been through ICU, they have been suffering. I've given them so many chances in my, I think until the age of 36, I tried patching up. They are animals and they deserve the most painful, horrific life, not death. Death is an easy way out. So I would never give my parents a second chance. Okay, just mother and father and some of the relatives who have participated in this torture orgy, as you can call it. Number 4 is I would never destroy or harm my wife and my little baby girl, or for that matter, a child's life. Why? Because I myself went through it. I know what it is, and I wouldn't want anyone else to go through it. So, as far as possible, I try to be a good father. Not perfect father, good father. Like if my daughter wants books to read, yes. My parents never give me chocolates. Even if I wanted, they would say no money. Imagine my parents would say no money to buy chocolates. I give my daughter not too many, but I take care of her. Let's put it this way. And even my wife, I've tried to give her a good life. I give her excessively good, but now I'm controlling it. But I try to give them a good life. And no, I would never destroy anybody's family or their child. Never harm a child. Number 5 is I cannot work for someone else. I've been doing it for quite long. And that fear that one day, if I'm careless, I'll end up working for someone else makes me work very, very hard. That is why I prefer working independent. Even if I earn less, I've been offered quite a good sum of money to collaborate, to work with someone. In fact, some people, for some strange reason, they think I would be an absolute asset. They have offered me substantial amount of money, big money, which would take me maybe 2 or 3 years or maybe 5 years to put together. They're ready to give me that kind of money. I've just said no, because end of the day, when you work for someone, you lose your independence, you lose your autonomy, which I enjoy. So I'd never work for someone. And that is one of the reasons that makes me work even harder, because I don't take life for granted. Number 6 is, if you notice on my channel, I've never accepted sponsorship. I have got a few decent brands. I wouldn't say world-class brands. They have not offered me very high. The ones who have offered me very high amounts have mostly been fraudulent characters, identities, or companies like the cryptocurrency. Remember, I told you when it happened, I got offered 100,000 US dollars, 50,000 in advance, but it was from someone who was very, very suspicious, and they would actually deposit the money in my account in advance first, the 50,000. But the reason I returned it, they started to give, I said stop, and I returned. And the reason why I did that is because money that comes in easy is dangerous. There's a price to pay, and the last thing I wanted to be is in a Thai prison for some strange reason. And by the way, the actors, actresses, and influencers who have taken money from cryptocurrency, even the FTX, today they're paying the price for it, so it is not worth it. And I prefer not having sponsorship, because end of the day, it's like you're working for someone. You have to push for views, you have to beg, please like, share, subscribe. I don't like to do this. I just like to be myself. And I don't want to recommend like Raid of Legends or something. Total crap game, total misleading game. Many respectable YouTubers have promoted it because they pay $500 to $1,000 per video. I just don't want it. I like the freedom. Number 7 is I'm not going to fake it online. There have been temptations for me to flaunt the fake cash that you get in Amazon to show this is the money that I made. I was tempted to do that when I started my brand online out of necessity, thinking that if I'd show I was successful, more people would sign up. I'm glad I never did that. I never posed with expensive stuff, rented houses, rented cars, claiming that it's my own, or being with the rich class, or even going to expensive parties and showing that I'm living the dream. I just don't like a fake life. People actually have said, you look like a beggar, you look like someone who's homeless, you look like, the background is boring, show some whatever. I'm not going to fake it. What you get, what you see is what you get. That's about it. And that's one of the reasons I have a few followers, but a strong group of supporters. Okay. Number 8 is I definitely will not have another baby. One baby is a village. And I've seen how much my wife has to sacrifice day and night, and my baby is super hyperactive. She has very strong ADHD. So I don't want to have one more where I'm not able At least, if not me, my wife is not able to do justice. It's not right. So I don't want to take on more responsibility. One kid is more than enough. I don't know how people do it with 2 kids, 3 kids. Some even have 5 kids. There's one guy, I've given you this example. He hardly has enough money for himself to feed himself, but he has, I think, his 6th child. And when I asked him, why the hell are you doing that? He's saying, Allah deta hai. Means Allah will give me. Yeah, you're using your sausage and you're producing, and Allah is going to take care of you. Fucking stupid. One baby, that's all I can manage. I know my limitations, and that's about it. Number 9 is go back to Dubai. I finished my honeymoon phase with Dubai. I've had my relationship with Dubai. And that is why when I left Dubai, I made sure that I would never come back. That is why the content about, bad ideas in Islam or negative aspects about UAE, I openly started to share about it. And the reason I did that is because I knew I would never go back. I have been offered by some rich people, but I know for a fact the day I land in Dubai, I will be arrested. Why? For my negative content about Islam, about Arabs, and the drawbacks of Dubai. Somebody can complain and get me jailed. So people claim that I'm a runaway fugitive, I've scammed banks of billions. I wish. I don't have the billions. Or I've done something really sinister. I've told those people, please take my details, my name, phone number, email address, location, everything is available online. Report it to the embassy, the authorities, get me arrested so that, if what you say is true, I should be arrested. So it's not because of that. It's just because I lived a very expensive, flamboyant life in Dubai. It's very rich, it's expensive. I don't have any reason to go back. So I will not go back to Dubai. I'm very happy where I am in a simple village setting, and have retired from that glamorous, glitzy, Habibi come to Dubai life. And last, if not the least, this is my 4th marriage. Many people said, in between I had problems with I had a small problem with my marriage about my wife taking money, which if you Google search and check on YouTube, search my marriage, it's over. I was nearly going to split. But I had made up my mind that if this marriage would not work, no more marriages. That's it, done. I'm not going to get married ever again. My 4th marriage, final one. And in fact, I don't even want to have a girlfriend. Not that I'm gay, not that I don't have a sexual libido. If I have to satisfy myself, I'll go, paid sex, come back. I don't want any other relationship. I don't want complications. I don't want to have another girlfriend. I don't want to have another wife. That's it. It's done. So I'm never going to get married again. So the top 10 things I would never do. Number 1, reveal customer details. Number 2, break integrity or my principles or values. Number 3, give my parents a second chance. Number 4, destroy my family's life or a family or a child. Number 5 is work for someone else. Number 6 is accept sponsorship on my channel. Number 7 is fake it online in any way, shape or form. Number 8 is have another baby. Number 9 is go back to Dubai, even for a visit. And number 10 is get married again, have another girlfriend, or start another relationship. That's about it. This is going to be my last and final. So these are the 10 things I would never do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly, feel free. And let me know what are your 10 things. I would like to know that as well. So if you feel free, share it, and I would like to hear your side. You guys take care. This is me signing off.